Let me ask you more explicitly on the SUTI, the search for unconventional terrestrial intelligence. What do you hope to do there? How do you actually try to find unconventional intelligence all around us? First of all, do you think on Earth there is all kinds of incredible intelligence we haven't yet discovered?
I mean, guaranteed. We've already seen in our own bodies, and I don't just mean that we are host to a bunch of microbiome or any of that. I mean that your cells, and we have all kinds of work on this. Every day they traverse these alien spaces, 20,000 dimensional spaces and other spaces. They solve problems. I think they have they suffer when they fail to meet their goals. They have stress reduction when they meet their goals. These things are inside of us. They are all around us. I think that we have an incredible degree of mind blindness to all of the very alien kinds of minds around us. And I think that, looking for aliens off the earth is awesome and whatever. But if we can't recognize the ones that are inside our own bodies, what chance do we have to really, to really recognize the ones that are out there?
Do you think that could be a measure like IQ for mind? What would it be? Not mindedness, but intelligence that's broadly applicable to the unconventional minds, that's generalizable to unconventional minds, where we could even quantify, like, holy shit, this discovery is incredible because it has this IQ.
Yeah, yes and no. The yes part is that as we have shown, you can take existing IQ metrics. I mean, literally existing kinds of ways that people used to measure intelligence of animals and humans and whatever, and you can apply them to very weird things. If you have the imagination to make the interface, you can do it, and we've done it, and we've shown creative
Yeah.
problem solving and all this kind of stuff. Like so yes. However, we have to be humble about these things and recognize that all of those IQ metrics that we've come up with so far were derived from an N of 1 example of the evolutionary lineage here on Earth. And so we are probably missing a lot of them. So I would say we have plenty to start. We have so much to start with. We could keep, tens of thousands of people busy just testing things now, but we have to be aware that we're probably missing a lot of important ones.
What do you think has more interesting, intelligent, unconventional minds inside our body, the human body, or like we were talking off mic, the Amazon jungle, like nature, natural systems outside of like the sophisticated biological systems we're aware of?
Yeah. We don't know because it's really hard to do experiments on larger systems. It's a lot easier to go down than it is to go up. But my suspicion is, like the Buddhists say, innumerable sentient beings. I think by the time you get to that degree of infinity, it kind of doesn't matter to compare. I suspect there's just massive numbers of them.
Yeah, I think it really matters which kind of systems are amenable to our current methods of scientific inquiry.
Mm.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
spent quite a lot of hours just staring at ants
Mm.
when I was in the Amazon. And it's such a mysterious, wonderful collective intelligence. I don't know how amenable it is to research. I've seen some folks try. You could simulate, but I feel like we're missing a lot.
I'm sure we are. But one of my favorite things about that kind of work, have you seen there's at least 3 or 4 papers showing that ant colonies fall for the same visual illusions that we fall for. Not the ants, the colonies. So
The colony
the
together.
colonies. So if you lay out food in particular patterns, they'll do things like complete lines that aren't there and like all the same shit that we fall for, they fall for. So I don't think it's hopeless, but I do think that we need a lot of work to develop tools.
Do you think all of the tooling that we develop and the mapping that we've been discussing will help us do the SETI part, finding aliens out there?
I think it's essential. I think it's essential. We are so parochial in what we expect to find in terms of life that we are going to be just completely missing a lot of stuff if we can't even agree on never mind definitions of life, but what's actually important. I led a paper recently where I asked 65 or so modern working scientists for a definition of life, and we had so many different definitions across so many different dimensions. We had to use AI to make amorphous space out of it, and there was zero consensus about what actually is important, and if we're not good at recognizing it here, I just don't see how we're gonna be good at recognizing it somewhere else.
So, given how miraculous life is here on Earth, so it's clear to me that we have so much more work to do. That said, would that be exciting to you if we find life on other planets in the solar system? Like, what would you do with that information? Or is that just another another life form that we don't understand?
I would be very excited about it because it would give us some more unconventional embodiments to think about, right? A
Mhm.
data point that's pretty far away from our existing data points, at least in this solar system. So that'd be cool. I'd be very excited about it. But I must admit that my level of my set point for surprise has been pushed so high at this point that it would have to, it would have to be something really weird to make me shocked. I mean, the things that we see every day is just, yeah.